What's up, everyone? Welcome to the December 28th edition of the NBA Injury Report, brought to you by BetMGM. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And we have an 8-game NBA slate to look at tonight. As usual, we're going to go through all of the relevant injury news that we are waiting on. But before we get to that, click the link in the description below, sign up and make a deposit at BetMGM. Place a real money wager of at least $10 and receive a risk-free first bet up to $1,000 in addition to 2 free months of Stokastic Plus Platinum. Click the link below to take advantage. Now, we do have a lot of injury reports that we don't have yet, so we're kind of estimating what those are going to look like because we have teams on back-to-backs. But starting with the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James is questionable. They are, of course, without Anthony Davis once again. If LeBron were to miss this game, Russell Westbrook looks better. Dennis Schroeder looks better. Thomas Bryant looks better. They look like the three priorities. It would also be a bump for Pat Beverly, Lonnie Walker, Austin Reeves, pretty much everybody on the team. You could see more minutes for Wenyen Gabriel as well. Potentially Damian Jones reemerging as the backup center. But Schroeder, Bryant, and Westbrook are the three that would look the best. And then if you want to take some shots on Gabriel, Beverly, Reeves, Walker, any of those guys, certainly more production available if LeBron is out. For Miami, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo are both questionable. They both missed the last game. If they're both out, Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry look better. We saw Nikola Jovic start in place of Bam last game with Orlando Robinson playing the bulk of the minutes off the bench. I expect that if Jovic starts, you're getting either a 24-24 split or a similar rotation where minutes are in favor of Orlando Robinson again. If Robinson starts, I certainly would expect him to play more minutes than Jovic. If Bam is in and Butler is out, Hero and Lowry still look okay, but Bam would look very good in a favorable matchup against the Lakers. If they're both out, you get more minutes from Strus and Martin as well. For the Chicago Bulls, Alex Caruso and Javonte Green are questionable. Green's status doesn't matter too much. If he is in, it decreases the likelihood that we see any minutes where Andre Drummond plays alongside Vooch, but that's not a super likely outcome anyway. It also potentially takes minutes away from Kobe White and Goran Dragic off the bench. If both Green and Caruso are out, then you should see increased playing time from some combination of Drummond, Drummond, White, and Dragic off the bench. Most likely White and Dragic getting the bulk of the minutes. And Ayo Dosunmu, if Caruso is out, should remain in the starting lineup, likely to play 30-plus minutes. For Minnesota, Kyle Anderson is questionable. We've seen Austin Rivers starting in place of him. Rivers should play a lot of minutes, but he's not a very good point-per-minute guy. We have also seen Naz Reid playing a lot of minutes alongside Gobert. If Anderson is out, it's likely that that does continue, and we get 24 to 26 minutes from Naz Reid. For Utah, Kelly Olynyk is questionable. If he is out, we've seen Jared Vanderbilt and Walker Kessler starting alongside each other. In their most recent game, Malik Beasley did start the second half in place of Kessler, so not sure which route they would go here, taking on Golden State, but you would get increased playing time for some combination of Kessler, Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley, as we've seen in recent games. For Phoenix, they're on a back-to-back, so we're just guessing at injury news here. All that we know for sure is that Devin Booker is out. Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, and Landry Shamet all considered questionable for right now. If Paul and Payne are out, Dwayne Washington is going to look like the best play on the entire slate. If Paul is in and Payne is out, Washington's really cheap and should get the backup point guard minutes, but keep in mind that he's not likely to play many, if any, minutes alongside Chris Paul. If both Paul and Payne are in, then we can forget about Dwayne Washington. We also, in the situation where Paul is in, Payne is out, need Landry Shamet to be out for Washington to be an appealing option at all. Otherwise, it's likely that you just get Landry Shamet playing the backup point guard minutes. So a lot of moving parts there with those guys. For Atlanta, Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, and Bogdan Bogdanovic are all questionable. It's another case where if Trae Young is out and Bogdanovic is in, Bogdanovic is going to look better regardless of Bogdanovic's status. If Young is out, John Collins and DeJounte Murray are going to look better. But if both Young and Bogdanovic are out, Collins and Murray look even better than they would if Bogdanovic is in. If Hunter is out, you're likely getting Bogdanovic in the starting lineup playing more minutes. If they're both out, you probably get AJ Griffin moving into the starting lineup. So a lot of different ways this can go as well. We did also get Clint Capella ruled out already, so it's likely that we get another start from Onyeka Okongwu. For Denver, Aaron Gordon missed yesterday's game, so we're assuming he's questionable for now. Bruce Brown left yesterday's game early, also assuming he's questionable. Jamal Murray played 38 minutes yesterday. Don't know if he's going to play on a back-to-back. And then Michael Porter Jr. also played about 30 minutes yesterday. Don't know if he's playing on a back-to-back. So another team where there's a lot of moving parts, really difficult to know for sure where to go. But if we were to get a situation where, for example, Jamal Murray and Bruce Brown are out, you're likely getting a lot of minutes from a combination of Ish Smith and Bones Highland. If you were to take out Michael Porter Jr. and Brown, you're probably getting increased minutes from Highland and Christian Brown. There's a lot of ways that this can go, but keep in mind that Bones Highland is a very good point per minute guy. If you get two of these guys out, you're likely to see a lot of minutes from him. We saw Zeke Naji start in place of Aaron Gordon yesterday. May or may not be the case here. Probably partly depends on who is injured for Denver, but he didn't play a lot of minutes. He did get in foul trouble. Not an overly appealing option, but if he starts, potential value option to throw a dart at. And then for Sacramento, we have to wait on the status of Domantas Sabonis. He sat out yesterday's game. Alex Len started in his place. Rashawn Holmes played a few more minutes than Len, and we did get some center minutes from Trey Lyles, who ended up playing 24 total minutes. If Sabonis is out again, I expect that Lyles looks like a pretty good value. You can also roll the dice on one of Len or Holmes and hope for the best. We also should see increased production from De'Aaron Fox. He was wildly disappointing yesterday, but we do get a bump in assist percentage from him when Domantas Sabonis is not on the floor. So to recap, the big pieces of injury news we are currently waiting on: LeBron James questionable for the Lakers. Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler are both questionable for Miami. Alex Caruso and Javonte Green are questionable for the Bulls. Kyle Anderson questionable for the Timberwolves. Kelly Olynyk is questionable for Utah. Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, and Landry Shamet all considered questionable right now for the Suns, while Devin Booker is out. Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, and Bogdan Bogdanovic are all questionable for the Hawks, while Clint Capella has already been ruled out. Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. all considered questionable for the Nuggets, and Domantas Sabonis is considered questionable for the Kings.